never guessed that some of the world's most amazing roller coasters are born just outside of Sunbury. In a business that really has its ups and downs, Claire Hayne Jr. and his company, Great Coasters International, have been on quite a ride for the last 15 years. Fresh out of high school, Hayne got his first taste of roller coaster construction.
I work for a local contractor right here, right where we're standing. It was called Geordie Truss Sons. And we were asked to help build the Phoenix at Canova's Grove. We were one of, I don't know how many contractors were there, but we were one of those companies. And we went out there, we got to help set the structure and lay the track. And my forte turned out to be the tracking portion of it, the wooden track.
His expertise landed him a job with Custom Coasters International. He worked on projects across the United States and on one in Mexico City. Working on the Sky Princess at Dutch Wonderland in Lancaster, he met designer Michael Boodley, and the two became fast friends.
He was trying to do new things, and I wanted more of a challenge. And he understood where I was coming from, I understood where he was coming from.
Any visions of striking out on their own came to a screeching halt when Hayne nearly died on a job site at Indiana Beach in Monticello, Indiana.
March 27th, 1994, Palm Sunday. I happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. I came back from lunch. I stood on top of a track tie, and I squatted down to put a nail in a ledger, a member that holds the track. And the vibration broke it free, and I fell backwards and I smacked my head, which saved my life because it knocked me out. I fell 25, 30 feet onto a steel I-beam, which then I rolled off of that and fell to the ground.
The 55-foot fall left Hayne paralyzed with a broken neck, back, and collarbone, 2 punctured lungs, broken ribs, and what he described as a mangled liver. He woke up 2 days later in Methodist Hospital in Indianapolis. He wasn't expected to live, but he did, and for the next 100 days he fought the odds to regain feeling, function, and eventually movement in his limbs. For months, his neck was immobilized in a halo, and he went through painful physical therapy. He was not expected to walk, and though the left side of his body remains slightly paralyzed today, he was able to walk out of the hospital with only a cane. During his rehabilitation at home, Hayne was visited by his good friend Michael Boodley. The pair decided that despite Hayne's injuries, they were ready to start the company they'd always talked about. The same attitude that helped him survive his fall now motivated Hayne to get to work building the fledgling company.
I was really gung-ho. I wanted to, and I already got jobs lined up to bid on, and so part of my therapy was to teach myself how to write, so I was able to do some of my work at this job, or at this work harding place, and one thing led to another. We started talking to Hershey Park, and next thing you know, Hershey Park came along and they wanted us to build this new roller coaster for them at the Wildcat, and they gave us a chance, and here I am today.
Today, Great Coasters International has 15 installations to its credit, 3 of which are in Europe. The company produces twister-type coasters that mimic the action of a modern steel coaster while still holding on to the nostalgic look and feel of wood. Couple that with their Millennium Flyer trains, and you're in for an amazing ride.
They're fantastic. It's just like sitting on a sofa. It really is. It's nice.
These trains are specially designed to negotiate the twists and turns of a great coaster's design. No other company covers so many aspects of coaster construction, from design, surveying, construction, tracks, and trains. Great Coasters International has become a one-stop shop for amusement parks around the globe. They have offices in Cincinnati, Ohio, and Hanover, Germany, in addition to the headquarters outside of Sunbury. We spent some time with Procurement and Assembly Director Chris Gray and talked about the obsession many people have with roller coasters.
You know, this is what I wanted to do forever, and I started building these architectural models as a side business when I got out of the military, and that's kind of how I put my foot into the door.
Working for a roller coaster manufacturer has its own mystique. Gray and others from the company will be swamped by fans when they give presentations about their projects, and if they're spotted riding a coaster, they are often treated like celebrities and hounded for autographs. They're also frequently asked how to get a job in the industry. Great Coasters International has an internship program that draws students from all over to work either in the Sunbury office building trains or the Cincinnati office where the engineering work is done. Many of these interns return to take full-time positions at Great Coasters after they graduate. Gray gave us a tour of the production facility on the lower level of the Sunbury offices, where each train car is made to exacting specifications. It typically takes 2 months to build a train, but when we visited, they were in the process of pulling off the impossible, turning around a train in 2 weeks to be shipped to a job site in Germany. That's quite a feat considering the amazing number of parts that goes into each car.
To give you an idea about the trains, the train is made up of 12 cars. Each car has about 650 different welded components or single components to make one car, and there's also about 650 different pieces of hardware per car. So if you look down this way, you can see that there's thousands and thousands of bolts that must be turned. This year alone, we're currently building 5 trains. 2 for Worlds of Fun, which is in Kansas City, Missouri, 2 for Six Flags Magic Mountain in LA, and then 1 for a very small family-owned park in Germany. So currently in the shop, we have the 1 train for Worlds of Fun because 1 is already shipped, and the other train that's in the office that you'll see will be the black train for the Germany ride.
With that many moving parts, quality control is key. All of the parts for the trains come from manufacturers within a 60-mile radius of Sunbury, which allows Gray to keep a close eye on workmanship. In addition, all of the bolts, nails, steel brackets, lift motors, basically anything that makes the ride function, passes through the Sunbury facility where it is checked, palletized, and then shipped to a job site. Creating a coaster in the United States and building it on the other side of the ocean produces its own set of challenges.
The international shipping was something that we tackled 3 years ago when we did a ride in Finland. And it was a huge learning curve to try to figure out not only how to get stuff there, but how are we going to pack it in a container? Time, how much faster do we need to get stuff in order to get it across the ocean? Because you're looking at a 4-week to sometimes in Finland 6 weeks to get it to the site. So everything had to be basically thought through your head, or we had to basically redesign everything in how we either build it or make it to put it in a container, because some things had to shrink, or we had to figure out how to put it in a container via, like we would say AutoCAD. We would actually take a 3D render of what it's going to be, put it in that space, and see how many we can fit.
Just in case you're wondering how safe a wooden roller coaster really is, Gray gave us a lesson in Roller Coaster Safety 101.
The way a roller coaster works in general is you have a road wheel. That's what actually rides down the road, basically flat. Then there is a guide wheel, which would spin sideways. And then there's what's called an upstop wheel, which locks it into this track. If you can imagine the track on a wooden roller coaster, looks like a letter L upside down. So the wheels lock into that.
Gray also pointed out that every car on every roller coaster across the world is taken off the track each year, torn down to the last piece, the nuts and bolts are replaced, and all the welded components are inspected. The primary demographic for roller coaster riders is 8 to 19 years of age. When your job is designing amusements for that age group, it's helpful to stay in touch with your inner child. Everyone we met at Great Coasters International has a passion for fun. Claire Haynes spends time outdoors with his family fishing and riding four-wheelers, but Chris Gray likes to mix work and play.
So we actually end up at Knoebels 3 nights a week in the summertime. I call it my church.
A quick car ride to Hershey Park and you can ride 2 of Great Coasters' creations, the Wildcat and the Lightning Racer. Built in 1996 and 2000 respectively, both of these rides feature the Millennium Flyer trains. Thank you very much to the great folks at Great Coasters International. We had a fantastic time being there. They are a terrific company right here at home in the Valley, and they are an awful lot of fun. So if you want more information about the company or their coasters, you can visit them on the web at www.greatcoasters.com. Well, that's our show, and as you know, I am always on the lookout for story ideas, so if you have one for in your neighborhood, send it to me. My email is jenwakeman@ccn-news.com. And I look forward to seeing you again for our next episode. I'm Jennifer Wakeman, and I'm in your neighborhood.